What's up, guys? It's Friday, July 23rd. Sorry, I'm a little late. I had to get my microphone set up. It looked like there was something wrong with it when I signed on this morning. So I got it. I think I got it fixed. If it sounds bad or something, let me know, and I'll go through and try to fix these settings. But I logged on this morning and my mic wasn't working. SRT's in the house. D-Worm. Yeah, SRT says pre-market not being too kind to us. I know we did drop a little bit. I think it was right around 350. And there was some shares borrowed again this morning. So I'll kind of pull that up here in a second. What's up, Michael? Good morning. Let's see here. Who else is in here this morning? Co-creator got in on time today. What's going on? Who else? Joseph says, anyone know how to like the stream on YouTube app? I have no idea. But thanks for joining, Joseph. I appreciate it. Thank you for being in here. Brooks says, good morning. Lisa's in the house. Good morning. Who else is in here? Just kind of scrolling through real quick. Shrimply, what's up? And then Brooks says, yeah, as long as we can push through the 2.4 million shares borrowed this morning, we'll be all good. Yeah, I was going to pull that up in a second here just so we can get a look at it. Let's see here. I know I'm behind. I'm just trying to catch up. Skip, what's up? Kim, good morning. Thank you for coming in. I think I'm almost done. Good morning, B. Johnson. Rick James is in the house. Justin. All right. So yeah, we're down this morning. CLOV down 2.2%. GME's actually rising a little bit, but that's right at its max pain level, 180. And CLOV's max pain is 9. It is Friday. It seems like every Friday lately, we've been getting pinned right at this max pain point. I'd like to see where DraftKings is at too, max pain wise, if it's even a factor this week, because it seems like that's been getting held at 50. If anyone's been following along DraftKings with me, it's like, it seems like 50 is kind of the magic number that it's being kind of held under right now. So I'll check out some max pains on a couple different ones. I noticed AMC was running too. The S&P 500 is up 0.5%. Looks like it's trending upwards right now. So we'll see how that plays out. Sometimes when it gaps up, it ends up falling right off the right off the bell, and then that drags stuff down with it. But sometimes we trade independently of it too. Yeah, AMC up 1.5% after a kind of a bigger loss yesterday, 8% loss. But a lot of these stocks went red yesterday. Other stocks I'm watching right now, just kind of looking around, see what's going on. AVXL is up 2% in pre-market after dropping 1.5 yesterday. And the only other one is BNGO. Lost 3% yesterday, down 0.5% in pre-market right now. I'm gonna leave AMC up though, just in case anyone. I know some of you guys are still in AMC, and if it starts moving, let's see. Oh, Scotty's here. What's up, Scotty? Good morning. Jason's in the house. Thanks for coming in. Shank says, what about the news about warrants and fidelity? So we'll go over that in a second too. Let's see. Scotty's running to the dispensary. Good morning. Good morning, Fluffy Nut. Thanks for coming in. Who else is in here? Scotty says, might drink early and drop a Twitter CLOV short vid as well. Let's do it. Yeah. Man, I don't know if I'm going to be drinking this afternoon for stock tails, just because I'm expecting to have a little bit of a rough night. I know I always talk about my neighbor, and I said yesterday he's a good friend of mine. Today's his birthday, so if you're listening, happy birthday. He's usually listening to the show, and I'm always giving him shit, but we're going to be partying a little bit tonight, so I might have to keep it cool for stock tails. I don't know if you guys, Tar Heel Stonk Tails takes place at noon out here, so too early for me to start today. All right, let me see here. Let's get into it. So like I said, a lot of news. I don't know if anyone else who's kind of like on Twitter or following social media, there's been a lot of stuff. It seems like the dark pools are like really starting to what do we have up here? Let me see. Let me get Clove up. Seems like dark pools are really starting to catch some focus. I mean, we've been talking about it for a while. I know, like the GameStop community's been talking about it for even longer. AMC, but it seems like it's finally making its way into the mainstream media. Supposed to be some people on Fox News today talking about it, and I think that could be a positive. I think that'll, maybe potentially, you know, if you shine some light on it and it gets talked about enough, maybe that could bring about some change, or at least kind of get the SEC to start paying more attention to it. Oh, co-creators corrected me. It's Stonk Tales now. Yeah, so anyone who's gonna check that out later on, make sure you type in Stonk Tales, or if you're subscribed to Tar Heel Blue, which you should be already, go subscribe to him. He did do a video late last night, kind of like an impromptu stream, with Pablo, who was here in the chat yesterday talking about those warrants and that warrant situation. Um, but I couldn't find it this morning. I was gonna try to pull it up and that way, like, share the link here, so anyone who didn't check it out. Let me see if it's back up. But they did a stream last night, kind of a little bit later in the day. Let me see here. Oh yeah, there it is. I see the video right now. I'm gonna drop the link in the. Let me see. How do I share this video? Sorry guys. For anyone who wants like a deep, in depth about these warrants, let me see if I can copy this. Copy. There we go. I'm gonna try to paste this into the chat real quick. Um, there we go. So that's a video. It was a live stream that Tar Heel did last night with Pablo Escobar. He's also Danger Panda on Reddit. But he really broke down like how these warrants, because I mean I don't hold warrants, so I'm kind of I'm still learning about how they work, but he really broke it down and how it's going to affect the Clove stock. It seems like overall it's a bullish play by the company, but if you're holding warrants, probably not as great a news. Because you got to make some decisions now. If you decide to convert them into shares right now, I think you're getting basically I mean, just to summarize it the way that I understood it, and I did catch the end of the stream, but it sounds like if you were going to convert them right now, you're basically getting like the amount of shares that your warrants would be worth. So like for instance, I think the warrants right now are trading for, just to put it into like the simplest way possible, um, and I could be completely wrong too. So I'm just, this is the way I understood it based on what I saw. Like right now, if you had warrants trading at $2, they would convert over, roughly similarly to if you had shares at $8. So you get like, somewhere around five for every five warrants you have, you get like one share or something to that nature, or you could exercise them completely, but that would cost $11.50 per warrant to turn it into a share, which most people probably aren't going to do because we're trading at 862 right now. So worst case scenario, it may dilute the float a little bit, but the percentage isn't, like ridiculous. And then, like I said, I don't know how many people are actually going to pay that $11.50. If they do, that's actually putting money in the company's pocket, which could be some bullish. But if they don't and they just convert them now, it's gonna be less dilution for the overall float. So either way, though, seems like a bullish move by the company. So and as a long term play for Clove, I think that it'll help the company expand. And I think it's gonna help them. Just moving forward. Regardless, either way, whether it's a cash infusion or if it's taking some of those warrants off the table. So, all right, let me see. I got Peter's in the house. Thank you. Michael says can't drink all day if you don't start early. Yeah. Uh, I skipped some. Sorry guys. I always get behind. Uh, Chef Daddy, what's up? Thanks for joining. Joseph, good morning from Texas. All right. Like I said, Peter's here. Good morning, Peter. Yeah, co-creator. That's what I was thinking. There, it's good news, but not necessarily great news for warrant holders. So basically, those warrants had like a later expiration date on them, and basically the company's coming in now and saying like, "Hey, we're going to call these in now." That's my understanding. Um, Jason, I didn't see the fintel short sale table. I'm going to star this comment so I can come back to it, and we'll check that out in a little bit. Um, Yeah, and Brooks, I think you're absolutely right. It kind of limits the upside gains for warrant holders, but dilutes the float less. Yes. Ago, what's up? Thank you for joining again. Um, let's see. Fluffer says there's somebody making videos saying that Clover Health f's over investors with warrants. Okay, I haven't checked that out yet. Um, let's see. Let's see. Joseph, what's up? Good morning. Um, Oh, there's Pablo right there. There we go. So Pablo's the one that was dropping knowledge last night, and I believe, and I don't want to put out bad information, but I know I had thrown in the chat of the live stream last night, that we should get Pablo to come on the roundtable on Sunday, and I think he said yes, but I'm not sure. But either way, thank you last night, Pablo, for the contribution. You know, that was awesome. If you ever want to come on this show and drop some knowledge on us too, we'd love to have you, man. That was fun last night. I did miss the beginning. I had some I didn't know it was happening, and then I saw the alert pop up on my cell phone, and you know when uh when I saw that alert come in, I had some friends kind of drop by out of the blue, and we were hanging out and stuff. And then so by the time they left, I jumped on, and I only caught like maybe the last half hour of it. But yeah, that was very informative. All right, let me see here. I'm trying to catch up. All right, there we go. Seems like I got caught up in the chat now. Okay, so anyways, what were we talking about? Clove. We talked a little bit about the warrants. Max Payne today is $9. So that seems like that's probably where we're going to get pinned to. That's the way things have been happening lately. It doesn't mean that we can't go higher. I mean, there's been obviously days where all stocks are able to kind of break through that breaking point, but it seems like more often than not the market makers are able to control the stock on a Friday and keep it where it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's just what I'm kind of noticing. It's like if we're able to break through on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, that's when we could really get some upward movement, and it makes it harder for them to get us back down, right? But when it comes to like a Friday, we've been in this situation so many times now where we're trading within $1 of the max Payne price, and they just kind of push it and pin it right to it or right below it. So, tempering my expectations for today, but you never know. I mean, volume could start spiking, and once we get past it, the opportunity's there to really get rolling. So, we'll have to see how that goes. I did want to check AMC's just to kind of see. I checked GameStop this morning, and it was 180. Clove was 9. And let's see here. AMC looks like, why won't this pop up? Menu, Max Payne calculator, AMC. AMC's max Payne for today is 40. So yeah, it's got about $2.25, probably before it starts seeing some real pressure on it. I wanted to check DraftKings too, real quick, and then I'll get to some other stuff. We'll pull up Ortex and iBorrow Desk and see how many shares are out there. So it looks like Max Payne on DraftKings is at 47. So, or not, yeah, so it's trading right above it. All right, so let's take a look. Where did I want to get to? First off, we'll take a look at the Ortex data, see where we finished the day at yesterday. Remember, Ortex is only reporting, I think, like 85% of the data. They only get data from 85% of the brokers. iBorrow Desk is another, a different broker that I don't believe is getting reported to Ortex at all. But right now, it seems like estimated short interest is around 21. Utilization seems to be dropping to 77, and cost to borrow is down to 2. If we look at today, it does look like 2.3 million shares have been borrowed from the data that Ortex is reporting, okay, which would increase the short interest by 6. So whether or not they used all those shares, I kind of doubt that they've been used, because I don't think we've seen 2 million in volume yet today. So if there was 2 million shares borrowed, yeah, we're at 1.5 million in volume. So that means there's definitely some short shares out there that are going to get sold into the market. I would imagine probably early, because it seems like they try to make the stock dip early on. If we take a look at what do we got here? iBorrow Desk. Remember, this is a different pool of shares. This is coming from a different broker. Yesterday, looks like it closed at 2.7 million. See if my computer wants to play with us today. There we go. And right now we're at 1.4 million. So that's 1.3 million more shares that potentially got borrowed out today. Again, when they borrow these shares, they don't have to use them right off the bat. So 1.3 million here and 2.3 million here. So there's basically 3.6 million shares that we know of that have been borrowed and not yet returned today. With 1.5 million volume, I mean, I know it's not all short volume. Could have been that, potentially some of this downward pressure here was shorting, but my expectation is that they're holding these shares for the open to actually, try to hammer the price down off the opening bell. That seems to be what we've been seeing lately. I just lost my Chrome window. There it goes. All right, let me put this back over here to the side. We'll check out the option data in a second too. I just want to see where we updated at, but it looks like, usually it seems like it takes a little bit longer for us to get that information. Let's see. Co-creator says everyone set your chat to live chat instead of top chat. I hope I got it set on there. For some reason, my software, because I know co-creator is always calling that out, even when I'm watching Tar Heels, and then it reminds me. But I don't know, for some reason this software that I have doesn't give me the option to. So what I did was, when I actually schedule the video, I keep going in there and making sure to do it. So I hope I'm getting them in order too. Let's see. Pablo says way easier to explain in person over a beer, but I did my best. Yeah, from what I heard on the latter half of it, you did great. I really think you did an awesome job, man. And thank you for the contribution to the community. And even yesterday when you were on the stream and just kind of calling it out, you obviously had more knowledge about warrants than I did. So I mean, I appreciate it for real. Let's see here. Are you looking for that, Scotty? Are you looking for the video? If you're looking for the video that I was talking about, if you're looking for something else, I don't know. But if you're looking for that video I was talking about, check out Tar Heels channel. And I think it's the either the top video or the second newest video. DJ's in the house. What's up? Just dropping by before you take off. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate the support every morning for real. Um, let's see here. All right. So we talked a little bit about Ortex. We did look at iBorrowDesk, shares borrowed, Max Payne, kind of, we know where we're gonna be at. I had started a comment that I was gonna get back to. The Fintel short sale volume table. Now let me pull that up real quick. So I did look at one thing I did that I'm gonna try to start looking at a little bit more. I pulled it up this morning just to kind of maybe something we could start referencing every day when we come in here is I actually took a screenshot of it because I'm gonna start looking at this and seeing where it ends up. But this is the today's, I put the date on it and I want to just start keeping track of this to see what happens. But this is the daily short squeeze list for Fintel. I'm not playing any of these stocks today or anything like that, but I want to start documenting this to see how it actually works out. If you were to go in here and today look at PECO or MRIN, BLIN, like how accurate is that? How many days from here is there any correlation? So just some research I'm going to start doing on my own time, but every morning I'll start pulling that up if anyone's interested in that, just to see what Fintel's saying are the top candidates for a short squeeze. Maybe we could start finding some plays in there. If we see something, maybe start comparing it with other data. But in terms of the Fintel short squeeze table, let me take a look at that. So I do know they have the short squeeze Explorer. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, Jason. I'm gonna put this back up here just so you guys can see. I did see that, but the table. Yeah, I don't know if that could be actually what you're talking about. If it's not, let me know. Let me get back to the comments real quick. Keith, what's up? Good morning. Um, okay, Scotty, I got you. I got you. You're talking about that other video. Absolutely. Yeah, Skip, that's what I was thinking. If we start, I just want to start looking at it. I'm not jumping in any of these plays. I'd rather have some data behind it, but because I know there was times where like Clove was number one on that list, and um, so if we can, kind of maybe see if like maybe you can catch some other plays where start throwing some options at it for cheap, and maybe buying something if we see that whenever something's on that list it pops within the next couple days or the next couple weeks. Maybe there's some money to be made in there. So I'm going to start looking at that and just kind of trying to see how that plays out. So Jason says the short volume table. Yeah, I'll take a look at it later on, unless you want to explain which tab it's under or anything. Um, I see like the short squeeze screener. I saw that part. I don't know. I'll check it out. Unless it's under the specific stock. So I'll try that real quick. Let me go to the closed stock and see if I can find something. And then I might have to go over it later. So if I go to short interest, short shares availability, short. Oh, there we go. Yes, I see what you're saying now. Let's pull this over. All right, this is a new tab. So this is on the short interest tab of let me pull this over too because we are about to hit the bell. Short squeeze score, short share availability. This data always it matches up with interactive brokers too. I think I pointed that out the other day. But short borrow fee rates. All right, so short sale volume. FINRA short volume, FINRA total volume, short volume ratio. Changed our approach to short sale volume. Okay, so this is like the ratio of short volume. So like they're saying yesterday, 50% of the volume was short. Is the way that I'm understanding that. Um, okay. I think that's my understanding, but I'll take a look at it more once we sign off because that would be kind of interesting to see and take a look at because I know yesterday we saw AMC. A lot of people on AMC I was noticing on Twitter were saying that like they were at 70% short volume. I could be wrong on that, but I was reading something on there and it just kind of caught my eye. So I think that's my understanding or my interpretation of it. But I want to do some more research on it before I start throwing that out there as fact. Just to make sure that's my understanding, and I don't want to take too much time reading it right now. But thank you for pointing that out. That's something that I'll start looking at. Um, DJ says Beachbody pretty high up on Ape Wisdom. Had quite a run yesterday. Yeah, you know what? I didn't see it on Ape Wisdom. I'll pull up Ape Wisdom right now, but I saw an article on CLOV. It's like you go, I always talk about how this drives me crazy. You go to the news feed. As soon as something gets labeled as a meme stock, you go to the news feed and it's talking about a bunch of other stocks. And that's what I saw today. I went and tried to pull up news on CLOV and it was like, Beachbody, this one, that one, and this one are among Reddit favorites. And um, so yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but yeah. So right now we're in the opening 2 minutes. Clove is down 38%, or I'm sorry, 38.39 cents, 4.5%. DraftKings looks like it's going down almost 1%, 36 cents. AMC is positive right now at the open, up 30 cents. And GameStop down, 19 cents. So we'll kind of have to see how this plays out. I mean, we're in the opening 2 minutes, a lot of volatility always. So sometimes these candles look a lot worse than they are. And what I mean by that is like, look at this huge red candle on GameStop. But if you look at what it is, it's only down a half a percentage point, and then you look at it, this candle over here looks a lot smaller on Clove, but it's actually down 4%. So, it's all got to be taken into context too. It's like as the day moves on, you start to see that each stock has a different range. And so this being only a half a percent later on in the day, this candle could end up looking tiny, in the grand scheme of things. So let's see though. I'm just gonna look around. BNGO down 1% right now at the open. AVXL up a quarter of a percent. Nothing too major. Um, some of the other stocks I have up here that I'm looking at. Uh, let's see here. Sorry, I gotta fix my screens over here. I got too zoomed in. ATOS is one that I've been keeping my eye on since that play last time because I am looking for it to maybe get down around $3 or under $3 and maybe enter back in for a bounce back. But right now it's down 292 or 3%. There we go. I'm trading at 390 right now. SPCE almost down 3%, trading at 29.93. And BlackBerry, I added that to the watch list just because it seems like memes are getting a little bit more popular uh, this week, and trading kind of flat, 1036. Um, the stream favorite, everybody in the comment, the chat's favorite, Neuro, NURO. I don't know if anyone's still playing it. It's down 9% right now, trading at 2220. I added that one to the watch list because I know a lot of you guys have been playing it recently. All right, let's see here. All right, just catching up real quick. Tim says Investor Place website must be cool. Yeah. Nah, I feel you. I saw that article that they wrote too. It was something about, Clove being Redditor's new favorite, and then they just took a bunch of like crazy little mentions out of there. One of them wasn't even talking about Clove. It was talking about SoFi or something like that. And yeah. I feel you. Um, Skip says, as expected, they're hitting us hard to ensure we can't climb past max pain. Yeah, I mean, it's always an option. You know, I mean, we always could potentially jump up and get back above max pain. But it's like, it just seems that they're really good about suppressing us right to that price, at least in recent weeks. But, you know, if we were to see some volume, some increase in volume just come out of nowhere and push us past that, things could really get parabolic because of the option chain, right? I mean, this option chain has just been absolutely loaded up. Seems like week after week, somebody's coming in and loading this option chain up. And I don't believe it's retail at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's definitely retail people buying options, but you know, this is bigger money, is my expectation that's coming in. But I am going to pull up the option chain real quick. You know, now that it's 6:30, we should have an update. So as of today's option chain, which I'm not getting my hopes up too much about, looks like, yeah, I mean, there is potential there from, I mean, even at $8 now, it looks like the calls are outweighing the puts. Barely though, by maybe like about 1,000. But if we get past 9, you know, we're looking at the. Let me update this. Sorry, guys. For some reason, whenever I come to this option window, I gotta reset it up. It gets stuck in like after hours mode or something. All right, there we go. So yeah, I mean, if we were able to blow past 9 today, and you know, get up in that range, I mean, we're looking at 2 million shares right here differential that would have to be hedged as we cross 9, which would likely push us a little bit higher into $10. And there's another probably 2.5 million differential there. So, but then after that, it kind of dies off. So I mean, I could see if we were able to get above 9 today, maybe you know, getting some sort of push that would get us to 11 to close the week, but I'm not getting my hopes up too high on that. The other one that I wanted to check out was GameStop, because I was reading on Super Stonk last night that they said it had some potential based on volume that came in yesterday. This is also today's expiration. Not a ton though. I mean, but GameStop's also very higher price, so it takes a lot less to move it and a little bit of a smaller float, but I don't see a ton of differential in here either. You know, we're looking at what, if it crosses 185, maybe you'll start to get some movement from the option chain. But from what I recall, it was more at like the $200 strike is when things really started to get crazy. Um, I'm going to pull this back up and we'll go check out TRADYTICS just to see how that updated, because that takes in account the entire option chain, which really makes a difference as where's my TRADYTICS at? Oh, there we go. TRADYTICS really takes into account the entire chain, so then you can kind of see how the entire chain would affect the price, and that would go for next week too. You know, obviously we would lose all that open interest that I just pointed out on CLOV, but that's expiring this week. But like I said, this option chain is just absolutely, you could see right here even on this graph that the call volume has been increasing over the last 2 days. Call versus put open interest has been increasing over the last 2 days. And let's see here. Gamma exposure right now has decreased. I think we saw it as high as 3 early on yesterday, but that was when we were trading above $9. All right, so here we go. So right now at the $9 strike, yesterday I think this was about 54,000. Now it's at 62,000 versus 14. And then the $10 strike is now at 87,000 versus 30, so that's almost 50,000 difference. So I mean, there's a ton of firepower in this option chain, but you know, we got to be able to push past max pain. And you know, it's while it's possible, I just, in terms of today, I don't want to get my hopes up too high. You know, I just feel like that just kind of sets us up for a bigger letdown. So, you know, just I go into these Fridays now kind of with the expectation that if we weren't able to do it earlier in the week, it's probably less likely that it's going to happen on a Friday, unless some big money really comes in and starts pushing this stock around. We are in oversold territory on the RSI right now, like extremely oversold. We just hit 25. So, typically that's been, on an average day when we start getting down into that area, that's kind of like the low of the day. And that wouldn't shock me either because $8 has been kind of a support level recently. It seems like they haven't been able to get us down below there for a while now. We touched 792 back on the 20th, so like 3-4 days ago, and came right back up. And then we touched 767 the previous day, but again, couldn't even close the candle there. We came right back up. So this is really kind of like our level of support, I feel like, down here. As we look at level 2, it looks like I don't see a ton of buy orders. 10,000 at $8, 8,000 at 806. But there's not a ton of resistance in this level either. So again, we should be able to maybe get some momentum here and start moving. Just taking a look at some of my other plays just to see how they're doing. Yeah, everything's red right now. All right. Let's see. Oh, Michael says, "Holy crap, DraftKings looks like it's getting assaulted." I don't know how old that is, the comment, but that's kind of what I was saying though. Like you would think so, right? Like you look at this candle and it's just getting hammered down, but then you look and it's only down. It's not even down 1% on the day. So that's why early on it's hard with these candles to really be able to determine. Same thing with GameStop. You see this big old red candle, and it kind of hits this bottom over here and it's not even down 1%. So it's kind of and then you look at like CLOV and it's like, oh, cool, we're bouncing back, we're above VWAP, we're still down 4.5 on the day. So it's just sometimes these candles, when you're just looking at those, can be a little deceptive until the day kind of gets rolling, and you'll notice that as it starts to hit a bottom and a top, and you start to establish this range. Then you can kind of really take a look at the chart and really get a good feel for how the stock's doing on the day. Co-creators asking about the SPY. Now the SPY is actually here. I'll pull this up real quick. The S&P 500 right now is pretty flat. I mean, up $1.71. Actually, that's not flat at all. Like a half a percentage point on the SPY is pretty decent. But yeah, so the markets in general seem to be. We'll check the QQQ too. The Nasdaq relatively flat. So, I always hit enter too fast. Yeah, so AMC looks like it's trying to pop a little bit right now. DraftKings coming back. Looks like CLOV is coming back. Everything just broke above VWAP. But again, we're looking at DraftKings isn't really a meme, but we are looking at some meme stocks right now. So that might be different than the overall market. Yeah, this seems like because I know BNGO is kind of a heavily shorted stock too, and it's starting to pop up a little bit. Still down on the day, but then as I look at some of these other ones on my watch list, I pulled up what were the two top ones? I got to look at that image one more time just to make sure, because I put on my watch list the two top short squeeze plays for today: PECO, MRIN, and BLIN. So just to kind of keep track of it and see where it's at. But MRIN is up 5% on the day. What was the other one? BLIN's down 3%, and BlackBerry just kind of is seeing the same green we're seeing right now too. So these are all kind of like these heavily manipulated stocks. Space too, and Space just shot up. So I don't know. A lot of these memes trade together. My expectation is, or speculation on why is because you have kind of some of the same players. We pulled up the who was shorting Clove that one day and did the comparison between Clove, AMC, and GameStop, and it's like a lot of the same big names. So I think when they start covering, they might be doing it across the board, and that's why we see a lot of these stocks moving in tandem. But sometimes, but yeah, this looks pretty strong now. If we could start trading above VWAP, I would imagine we're going to see a lot of resistance at the $9 mark. Obviously, that's that max pain kind of point. Just pulling up this pivot points, which I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't know a ton about. I just found this feature, but yeah, it looks like $9. That's right where that blue line is, and that's where at least this is saying we're going to see some resistance at. So keep an eye on that. Hey, look, my portfolio looks better than it did 5 minutes ago when I glanced at it. All right, let's see here. Co-creator's absolutely right. He says Clove apes are used to the dropping in the morning, so it doesn't even phase us now. Yeah, I mean it's kind of like I always say I've kind of become immune to it to a certain to a certain degree. It's like the 6 months of being in GameStop just trained me for the volatility, and it is, you know, trading for as long as I have now. It's kind of like this is definitely different. It's definitely a different experience being in like these meme stocks and being more of a holder as opposed to, a day trader or a really short term like scalper or anything like that. It's like, you know, um, huge volatility swings, seeing your account go down huge one day and then the next day you're back in the green and it's definitely a different experience. And I'm just hoping it doesn't change the way that I trade in the future. Like creating different types of habits. Because for me, I've never really, I've always had like an investment account, that I have long term investments in, but I don't even look at them. I might go take a peek at it every couple weeks or something because they're kind of like those stocks that I have long term conviction in, and it doesn't matter. But I do that in a separate account. In this account, or not even this account, not my webull, but my Schwab account, I do more just like day trading, swing trading, trading options, and it's different. It's definitely different now. I mean, I'm still participating in some swing trades here and there, but to be holding a stock through this type of volatility, there's a lot of times where even in with day trading where I be completely cash every night, like take all my money out of every stock at the end of the day. That way you don't get killed overnight, on bad news or something like that. So this is definitely a different experience for me too, but I've kind of become immune to it, like I said, and almost like in a state of zen. It's like, okay, well, whatever. GameStop's down $20 today. I don't care. I'm not selling. Or all right, they dropped Clove down to 8. Guess I'll buy more. It's just a different mindset. It really is. Let's see. Skip says, if I was trading this to average down today would be a good day. Buy and sell late Tuesday, early Wednesday. At least that's what I'm noticing. Yeah, it does seem like that's kind of the trend right now. Like, we kind of get hammered down on a Friday, and then, that's like the kind of the low, and then you come back Mondays and Tuesdays, or Tuesday, Wednesdays, somewhere in there in the week is where we kind of get a little bit of hope and start moving up. But shit, for the longest time, it feels like, even though we would be up a little bit on a Tuesday, like, I mean, we just started seeing our first green days in a while. I mean, it seems like I'll pull up this daily. Oh, what did I just do? Clicking too fast. Here we go. Let me just see here. Yeah, on the daily chart, I'm not going to go back and count to see if that was a Tuesday, but I would imagine it probably was. It seems like those are the better days. But anyways, yeah, I mean, we've been going red for so long. This green right here felt good, and somebody actually pointed out that the correlation, or I mean, I don't know if there is any correlation, but how this looked pretty similar, right in here, three green days in a row, followed by a red, and then that's where we kick things off. So if we do see a little like a green candle here today, I'd be willing to buy that. Get a green here, and then maybe we'll kind of see history repeat itself. I definitely wouldn't be mad at that. Um, let's see. We're looking at what 16,000 kind of buying pressure coming in at $8.10 right now on level two. Um, and then another 10,000 coming in at 805. So we definitely have some support to kind of keep this stock from going lower, is what I've seen. And we did talk about earlier that there was about a net difference of about 3.3 million shares this morning. And so we've seen in volume so far, just in these first 5 or 6 candles. What is this? 2.8 plus, we'll call that 1.2. That's 4 million. So, I mean, there's definitely been enough volume in here where maybe that could have been them unloading a lot of those shares that they borrowed earlier this morning. If we take a look at Ortex, just to kind of keep pace, it looks like right now, where we at? Still have a net difference of 2 million borrowed. So nothing's been returned. If assuming that data is pretty up to speed. And it looks like a lot of shares got returned on our borrow desk. So it had what, a difference of 1 million shares borrowed this morning, 1.3 million, and now there's been a ton returned. So there's shares out there for people to go out and borrow, but who knows? It's really hard to say. I don't want to pin my expectations too much on this data, because we've seen that you know I'm not saying iBorrowDesk or Ortex is trying to manipulate the data, but they're going based off data they're given, right? So whoever's giving them the data could be. Co-creator says make Fluffer a mod, so we have a female mod too. I'm down with that for sure. I'll DM you later on Twitter and see if you're up to it. I'm absolutely down with that. That's a great idea, co-creator. Says I'm new to Discord. Might take a minute. I have a funny story about my kids setting it up for me. I am too. I'm not too big on Discord, but I'm starting to learn it and I'm starting to like it. But I know I think I follow you on Twitter, or you follow. I've seen a lot of your posts. If not, I'm not big on Twitter either. But yeah, absolutely, I'm down for sure. Um, I'm just reading your comment about your son's names. That's hella funny. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm behind. Yeah, DJ says MRIN. Oh, I'm late to that. It looks like it just got slammed back down. It was having a little run. Christina, what's up? Thank you for joining us. Good morning. Um, DJ says, I started late January. Imagine my surprise when I realized the GME situation wasn't normal. Yeah, I've been trading for years, and it's like that to me, and I was reading the DD on GameStop like way back in shit, probably October, November ish. And I wasn't ready to jump in on something. It's like I was kind of like, because there's always posts and on Wall Street bets and people putting out crazy stuff. But DFV definitely had some conviction in it, but it wasn't until it ran up to like I think it was like 15 or 18 that it kind of like, oh wow, there's something to this. And then when it kept going to 30, then it was like I started, really jumping into the DD and seeing that like, damn, it's at $30 and this stock is still heavily shorted. I'm getting in for the long haul, and that's when I entered in. But yeah, it's definitely not normal. This isn't normal trading at all. But I think there's just like, and I don't think it's gonna be like this forever too. But as long as there's you know, short sellers getting deep into stocks like they have been, um, I think it's going to continue to be a way to make money right now. Finding the next squeeze and throwing some money at it, and that's the other reason why I kind of, I know I talked about this yesterday too, but and it's not that I only play short squeezes, but right now it's a way to make money. So I'm holding long term in Clove and GameStop, and I don't have enough capital to enter into a third big squeeze position like that. But if we start finding that some of these there's a way to really kind of figure out when some of these stocks are going to run, I'm totally down with the other 20% of my account to start throwing in on little short squeeze runners and make some quick money. So I'm going to start tracking that short squeeze list and seeing if we can find some correlations in there. Uh, yeah, Blunt says since GameStop, my whole trading got messed up. Yeah, I feel you. Can't take any profits unless it's times 1,000. And honestly, after that GameStop run up in January, I was like, okay, that was a once in a lifetime type deal. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been in day trades before where I've gotten some crazy numbers like that, especially with options. I mean, you could hit 1,000 times%. I don't want to say easily, but you can, day trade and then you hit something that maybe goes on a run of 50-60% and you stay in it or kind of average out slowly. I've hit gains like that before, but far and few between. And then to be able to like see it with GameStop and see that it was like, um, you know, almost foresaw, like this guy saw that this was going to happen, and all the DD, and it wasn't just DFV because he wasn't really in for the squeeze play at first. He was in for the long-term growth of the company. But then other people started pointing out the short squeeze potential, which really came to light after the stock started moving up. And seeing that, like, damn, this makes sense. Like, if everybody buys into this stock is going to squeeze. And it just kind of changed the way that people are looking at stuff. And even now, with a lot of these other people, the way they've been reporting it, and I don't know. And I know Tesla was kind of the original short squeeze play. Um, but that one played out different. It was more of a longer squeeze, more of an organic squeeze, where GameStop just went parabolic over basically days and weeks. Um Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at, Ego. It's like I've been trying to limit my long term stocks. Having funds tied up in short term plays hurts your ability to pivot into new opportunities. Yeah, it's like, and that's why I always try to keep some of my account. And I said this yesterday, like I would love to see GameStop just end. Like go on the run. Let me cash out of this one, and then that way I could add on more to my Clove position, but then maybe make it to where I'm not 80% in these long-term plays, and feel comfortable with my position size in the long-term plays I'm in, because obviously I would have a lot more capital at that point. But then really get back to having that freedom of cash to be able to jump in and out of stuff with decent sized positions. So that's where I'm at right now. SRT says with Clove, you can always expect a hammering 5 days a week. You will either have Clove getting hammered or Tar Heel Blue getting hammered. That's funny. That's funny. Marathon, what's up? Good morning. Um, okay, Big Al pointed out that correlation in his latest video. All right, I'll check that out when I sign off here. I've just been getting busy lately. I mean, besides my schoolwork, football practice is kicking back off. My kids, obviously, when I jump off the stream, I want to spend time with them. And then, just other stuff in life. And it's like once I sign off, I try to do a little bit of research and stay on top of stuff. But it's been getting hard lately. So I haven't been able to watch like every video that Tar Heel drops or Al drops or, everybody. Pete says, I already have my seatbelts on for August 11th. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, it could be, a big nothing burger, kind of like the warrant thing I think was yesterday for most shareholders or for the company. It was like, everybody kind of freaked out about it, I guess in a negative way. And then to me, I think it ended up being bullish. But then at the same time, August 11th, I think everyone's going to get their hopes up for, myself included. But you never know. I mean, and what I mean is I'm fully expecting Clove, especially since they moved it up, to have a good earnings call, maybe release some positive information. I think it's going to be bullish all the way around. But then I'm just so used to, like, you get your hopes up on a specific date, right? And then short sellers come in and they hammer the stock down on that day. But you never know if news is that great to maybe like invite new investors, especially big time investors in. Maybe we can overwhelm the short sellers, and that could be the catalyst. I mean, anything really can kind of kick it off. Dave says, watching the wacky bid ask spreads again this morning. Yeah, it's crazy how it kind of jumps around. VWAP is trying to act as resistance, and we need to break through with good volume. I must be late. Let me see here. So it looks like we're trading above VWAP right now. So funny thing is, for the next 10 days, the higher the price, the more dilutive the warrant redemption will be. If I was a hedge fund, I'd let Clove move up and then short the shit out of it at 20. Yeah, so what Pablo's saying, I know I kind of explained this a little bit earlier, at least my understanding of it, but if right now warrant holders wanted to I guess exercise or redeem their warrants, they're going to get less actual Class A shares, which is going to be less dilutive to the stock. But if Clove gets, upwards of, let's say, like $20 or anything really, I would say probably above. I guess it depends where you bought your warrants at, but think of it like an option, right? So anything over 1150, we're going to see a lot more warrants being exercised, and then that's going to make the stock more diluted, right? It's going to dilute the float more. So if Clove is trading upwards of like $20, like Pablo's saying, that means that more people, probably everyone who holds warrants, is going to exercise, because it'll be 1150 to exercise plus whatever you bought your warrant at. It has to be kind of be factored into the price. So if I bought my warrants at, let's say, $2, plus 1150, if anything over 1350 would be profitable for me. I hope that makes sense, and I hope I'm saying that right too, Pablo. But yeah, so the higher the price goes, the more the float will be diluted, because that's the more people that'll actually exercise their warrants. The lower the price is right now, the less the stock gets diluted. But even with full dilution, I don't think the numbers are that bad. I mean, I don't think it's a big anything too much to worry about. I mean, obviously, when you're in the middle of a short squeeze, you don't want to see dilution. But I don't think it's too bad. Like GameStop, I think has diluted a total of maybe like 10% of their float since the beginning of the whole short squeeze kind of saga. But then AMC, on the other hand, I think year to date has maybe diluted by like 400%. So and it's still been able to run. So kind of crazy. Let's see. SRT says, I've been on the web since original AOL. Me too. I mean, I remember um, we had AOL dial up, and you had to pay by the minute. You had like your free hours that came with the little CD and everything, or the little floppy drive, and then you had to pay by the minute. How crazy is that to think about, especially considering how slow the internet was back then. AOL had all these graphical interface and stuff, and it's like you go try to load up a website, and if you're on a slow modem, dial-up modem, and you're paying by the minute, sometimes it'd take 5 minutes to pull up a web page. That was in the early days of AOL. And then things obviously got faster when broadband came in and everything else. But yeah, I remember those days for sure. That, like, I could be totally wrong, but maybe like 1995 ish, somewhere around there. And I remember even before that, because I've always been into computers and internet and everything else, like bulletin board systems, and being able to dial into those with the modem. So, and that was even kind of before AOL. Um, Ago says if anyone has Discord questions, go ahead and send them a message. I don't know. It's the same. I think it's the same name too, right? So yeah, one of the mods as well. Sorry, guys. I know you guys probably I always apologize, but I know you guys. You guys always. I'm always skipping over the chat. I can't keep up. Um, Here we go. Sorry, you're just reading through. I was way behind. Damn. VN, good morning. Pablo, I'm a hedge fund. I'd hold warrants as a financial hedge against my short position. You can buy warrants without impacting the common share price. So zooming out, looks like we get hammered down on the way to earnings, then a run up shortly after. Um, yeah, I mean, it does seem like that's kind of what they've been doing, but we're in a much different position right now too. So, back when, um, I know short interest was still somewhat significant back at the last earnings call, right around here in May, but it wasn't anywhere near where we're at now. I don't believe. I could be wrong on that, but I didn't really see this as a short squeeze potential. I think I even said that in a video, like somewhere around here, people were talking about, CLOV being a short squeeze, and at the time, to me, this was just a long-term potential play. And then I think as new data started to come out, it started really picking up steam as a short squeeze right around the end of May. So maybe there was a high short interest in there, and that could have just been this shorting that took place right here to take it down from where was it at, around $12, and then took it down to about here. This was when actually that whole gamma squeeze potential kind of came into play, and we did see kind of a light gamma squeeze on this day. If I recall correctly, this was back on April 28th, and then it just got shorter to shit after that, and all the way down to $6. Those who've been in long enough remember that was rough. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to speculate as to what could happen. I mean, I do feel like at this point we're already under so much short attack and manipulation that it wouldn't surprise me if they're going to keep trying to suppress the price, but it also wouldn't surprise me if they've ran out of firepower or are running out of firepower. Um, I used to work for Web TV, then rolled into AOL 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Oh, Ego remembers those pre 2880 days. Yeah, boss is in the house. What's up, boss? Happy Friday. Um, T Worm says the market crushes spirit today. Yeah. And Pablo, I think that's a good point. Says 3D chess, letting the price rise the next 10 days makes sense for a hedge fund, just from the share dilution side of it. Um, The one thing I will say though about the share dilution that I think is somewhat positive, unless you are the hedge funds owning the warrants, which I'm not sure. I would have to look. I did miss your guys' the first half yesterday. I don't know how many hedge funds own CLOV warrants. I could look that up here in a second too, just to be certain. But if it's retail that's actually exercising this, then yeah, you're diluting the float, but at the same time, you're diluting it to retail, which is who we want to have it. Now, if I'm wrong and there's hedge funds who actually are holding a ton of warrants too, then yeah, I mean now they'd be able to cover for a lot cheaper, presumably. Co-creator says, is Ortex and Fintel, are they compromised? I don't necessarily think that they're compromised, but I think what's happening is they're getting data reported to them straight from the different lenders and brokers that are lending out shares, right? So they're kind of at the mercy of the data that's been given to them. That's at least my take on it. I mean, yeah, there could be something, nefarious happening where, maybe they're doing something like that and trying to manipulate the data. But I think in the grand scheme of things, with thousands of stocks for them to keep track of, and just the payment that's coming in from all these retail people paying them $40 a month and all this kind of stuff, it's like, to me, I think that it's just straight up data dumps, right? Like everyone's dumping data to them. They're pulling that data straight out of, files, and just reporting it the way it is. But that's the problem too, is like, you know, um, they're at the mercy of whoever's giving them the data. So Roz says, is there any hope that the manipulations using dark pools will be contained by SEC, or will we always be at the mercy of hedge funds and hold hope and pray? I kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. In my assumption is, and honestly, I'm not very optimistic when it comes to the SEC enforcement and all that. But at the same time, we're really starting to see all of this being talked about more in mainstream media. And it makes it so that it can't be ignored for too much longer, right? I mean, it's not just a bunch of people on Reddit talking about it. It's not just, me talking to 80 people in a YouTube stream, or or even to make it bigger, somebody like Trades or Matt Kors talking to, you know 100,000 people on a YouTube stream. You're talking about, like Fox News, I think, covered it yesterday, from what I saw on Twitter, and there was someone else from like the AMC community going on Fox today to talk about it. So the more it gets talked about and the more it kind of gets thrown into the public eye, I think that something's going to have to be done. Something's going to have to be changed. But, really, it's not just about the dark pool manipulation or the short sellers trying to hammer down brick and mortar stores, or medical insurance companies or cancer research companies or anything like that. Really, what it is um, old money and their way of, staying wealthy and growing their wealth being threatened, right? I mean, because there's all kinds of loopholes. Even if you look at, the whole IPO process and why SPACs became popular, because they gave the little guy a chance to get in on a company um, at the same time as the big guy, right? With these SPACs and stuff. I mean, yeah, there's still pipe investments and everything else, but people were able to get in on Clove at $10 a share if you got in, pre-merger, and you got in when the SPAC was created. I know that doesn't sound like a lot that we're trading at 8, but that's one of the other reasons these SPACs are getting attacked too, because typical IPOs, a company wants to go public and they turn around and go to a broker, or somebody like that, and that's the company that's going to take them public. And now that company's clients get first dibs at buying shares of this company before it hits the market. And so, for the longest time, old money, that was a way where they can come in now, because they have these $1 million accounts or multi-million-dollar accounts sitting here with these investment companies. They get first dibs. I mean, look at Coinbase. What happened with that the day that it IPO'd? That stock shot up so high before it even hit the market, and you got everybody in the mainstream media telling you it's a great buy, and then the thing runs up, and the people that get in early enough before it hits the market get to dump the bags on retail, and that's been happening for decades. So I think like SPACs threaten the a way of life for old money. I think that, companies like Clover Health that are going to revolutionize the healthcare industry, or health insurance industry, I should say, threaten the way of life for old money and how they're able to manipulate stocks. Just, us getting access to this data now. So there's just so much of it, and the SEC's always turned a blind eye. And I know I kind of went off base of what your question was, but just the more it's in the public's face, the more the politicians and people like that are going to have to do something about it. That's my take on it, at least. So I think we're kind of trending in the right direction. If anything, this year, 2021, I know it kind of started with the whole GameStop thing, but it brought, even before that, COVID brought a lot of new retail investors in because a lot of people were sitting at home and started realizing that, you can get on here and make money and do it. And it's a lot safer than gambling, on sports or going to a casino or anything like that. But then on top of that, you can kind of control your own investment instead of just leaving it in your 401k or maybe do both, um, and grow your wealth. And then the GameStop thing happened, and it kind of started giving the little guy the upper hand, especially with Reddit and people kind of banding together and sharing ideas and sharing information. And now we all have access to information that we all didn't have. We used to have to pay for, right? I mean, all of you don't have Vortex, but because I do, I share it. Now we all have Vortex. That's the way I like to look at it. All right, sorry. Now I got to get back up. Uh, Coach, did my email pan out or oh no, I got the is that the email that you had sent the other day? I thought I replied to it. I still haven't turned my notifications on my email. Oh, wait. Oh, you sent an email this morning. I got it right here. I'm gonna check it out. I'll check it out right after the stream, and then I'll hit you back. But I did just get it. I didn't see it before I got on this morning. Damn, I wish I would have checked my email too, because I got up early today. I woke up at 4 a.m. again. Couldn't go back to sleep. Started drinking coffee early. I would have absolutely looked through that before the stream. I got to start like put a reminder to check my email before I get on. Um, but thank you for that. I'll check it out. Let's see. CT said after I posted how to get FINRA daily short volume data, they added it to their website today. Yeah, someone else pointed that out today. We pulled it up too, but that's awesome. You got some pull going right now. Louis, what's up? Thank you for joining us. D Worm says a lot of new people. Yeah. Thank you. Welcome everybody. And I guess I should say this too. I stream every day from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on the West Coast. It's a half hour before the market opens. I feel like I haven't said that in a while. So if you're new to the channel, definitely hit the like button, hit subscribe, and also if you're here because you're supporting Clove, make sure you kind of get in and join the Clove community. Get on the Clove subreddit. Get on the Clove Discord. I have links down in the description below. And also, again, I don't think I've said this in a while too. I used to say it every day or even twice a day, but for sure, make sure that you go support everybody who's making Clove videos. I mean, again, if you're here watching because you're watching for Clove information and Clove, and you're holding Clove stock. Don't just like my videos. Don't just subscribe to me. Go check out Tar Heel Blue, Outtrade, Sean Stocks, Dutch Trades, and I know there's a bunch of other people that are putting out videos now too. If you come across them, like the video for sure, because what that does is it helps get those videos into the algorithms, and it really helps. You're not only helping the person who made the content, but you're also, I think the bigger piece of this is you're gonna get that video into the algorithm and get it seen by people that maybe are not already know about Clove, and then now they'll find out about it by doing that. So that's my spiel. All right, you keep going. Um, let's see. SRT says keep the good old boys club. The good. That's exactly what I'm getting at. It's like that. Oh, hold on. Tar Heel text me. Damn, you text me hell long ago too. If you're listening, man, sorry. Um. All right. Let's see. SEC plays golf with market makers and hedge funds. Well, part of that thing is messed up too, right? Because it's all in the same. Like people go get jobs at the SEC, and then they make these connections with these big institutions and these banks and everybody else, and then they end up leaving the SEC, for, you know, a job paying way more money to go work for these hedge funds and these big institutions and banks and everybody. They kind of get recruited out of the SEC to go work there. So now you have former SEC employees being investigated by current SEC employees. It's just a huge conflict of interest, I think. I don't know what they're going to do to ever stop that. And it's not just the SEC either. Like the DTCC and the you know, the clearinghouses, they're all kind of, you know, I feel like at least in bed together. Even if it's not like true manipulation where they're talking about it, I just feel like they all know each other and all run in the same circles. So really hard to see like a lot of action get done. I think Gary Gensler, when he got on, it seemed a little promising. He was saying the right stuff, but I mean, and the SEC, I will say this: there's been a lot of new filings from them and the DTCC that there has been a lot of speculation on how they were going to change, you know, with rule changes and everything. But I don't think we've necessarily seen it yet. So if they are doing something behind the scenes, good. Hopefully, it, you know, it comes to light sooner than later. But I'm just not getting my hopes up. You know, I feel like you know, corruption is real, and you know, while I think we're doing a good job of fighting it. You know, you know, laws are only laws if they get enforced, right? Um, all right, let me see. Chef Daddy says just got my exercise on at 5. Oh, for those I think you're talking about those ones that were going to expire today, right? You got some $5 ones. Absolutely. Co-creator says we'll go green when the stream ends. Yeah, that seems to be how it works lately. You know, like right when it's time for me to sign off, right when we're nearing 8 o'clock, we'll start seeing that green marching up. Um, so yeah, that seems to be the way it works. That I can't get a green morning, not since June 8th. At least it seems like it's been that long. Coach, could you or text CENI? Yeah, that's actually one that was on that list, I think, today, too. I was looking at that earlier. Did I have it up? Oh, I don't. Where'd it go? Oh, CE. Is it NI or MI? I must have misspelled it over here. I put it on my watch list today because it was on that list. Oh, it is MI. There is no CENI. There we go. Yeah, I'll pull it up on Ortex for you. And sorry if I'm behind right now and you asked for that a long time ago. Uh but I'll get it up for you right now. Let's see. I want to say this was one of the ones that was on that short list. The short interest list, the number like on the top 10 off the Fintel website, but it looks like estimated short interest is 10. No, that can't be it. Shortest interest change today. So that's CEMI. Let me check CENI. No, I guess that was it. Here, I'm gonna catch up in the chat and then I'll pull it back up for you because I don't want to keep looking if it's different. Sorry guys, I'm hella missing on a lot of these comments now. Joe says thank you. Um, Damn, Lisa sent an email too. All right, yeah, I gotta start. I gotta get on top of that. I just created the email account like less than a month ago, and I always forget to like go in and click on it and check it daily. But I have been getting more emails, so I really got to stay on top of that for sure. Like before the stream and right after the stream, if I just get in the habit of doing it every day. So it was CEMI. Yeah, I'll pull it right back up right now. Zed said he's got 3,100 to shoot into Clove. Yeah, and co-creator says do it. Hey, I really think we're at this point now where I mean, look, we just saw support again at $8. We do have some big money. I feel like on our side. We just saw what was it? Fidelity came in and bought a bunch of shares, but my assumption is we also have some big whales who are more like, traders. That are coming in and helping us out when we get down to these low levels as well. And that's why we keep seeing the option chain getting loaded up the way it is. Kim says focus on 8. Yeah. Let's see. Supporting the $8 wall. Anyone have a searchable order book? You know what? I think I might be able to pull it up out of my I think I might be able to download an Excel sheet out of my Schwab app. I'll check on that too. Let me write that down because that's something I'm not going to try right now. Sorry, I just because I don't know if I can for sure. And it might take me the rest of the stream to figure it out. But if I can, I will. I'm gonna write down the actual share amount too, just so I have it. And when I hop off the stream, I'll see if I could figure that out. Um, Louis, what's up? So let me pull that CEMI back up for you. Sorry. I wanted to catch up in the chat to make sure that I was actually on the right stock first. And then we'll also take a look at CLOV while we're in Ortex and just see where that's at. All right, there we go. So here's the CEMI. We have estimated short interest is only 10%. But cost to borrow seems kind of high. I was messaging with somebody on Reddit about this too. Cost to borrow isn't always associated with the percent of the free float or the shares on loan or anything. Days to cover. It all really at the end of the day, what cost to borrow is based on is what each broker is going to charge for you to borrow that stock, and that's really dependent on how many people are hitting them up for shares. Right? It's more of a supply and demand thing. But as of today, we have a 30% change in short interest with a net difference of 763,000. Um, shares being borrowed. So this is, I'm assuming, a very low float stock. And on top of that, low float stocks move a lot higher. So that might be why it's so high on the short squeeze list. But if we look at CMI, it's actually down 20% on the day. So, but that could be just it getting hammered into the ground by those 740,000 shares. So we'll have to see how that goes. But I'm gonna start. Following that list a little bit closer, and maybe I'll even make an Excel spreadsheet to kind of track it, and see where it goes every day. I don't know. I'm kind of a data junkie like that. Michael says, very appreciate you sharing systems as well as sharing your time away from the fam. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm enjoying it though too. I appreciate you guys sitting in here and hanging out with me. I'm having fun. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this, right? But I'm having a blast. T Worm says, Coach needs a Clover assistant. Uh, let's see. All right. Oh, I got behind now. All right. All right. Let's see. Co-creator, you're absolutely right. You always dropping knowledge in here. He said, no matter what the trading looks like, any day could be the day that we kick off a squeeze of some kind. There won't necessarily be any warning. That's true. Um, and I think, for some people, volatility wise, they don't like watching, and that's perfectly okay. If you don't want to sit and look at the stock all day, I've kind of gotten to that point too, since now that I'm kind of gotten to this routine with streaming, I have alerts set on a lot of my stocks. And so once I hop off the stream, I go outside, I water my plants, I hang out with my kids, I just do other stuff because it's just like, To sit there and watch all day, it's not healthy either. So I think like if when the stream ends, if you want to set an alert to kind of just so when things are getting wild. Right now, I would say like $11, $12 would be a good number, just because once we get past that point, if we were able to, that's where we would really see like a gamma squeeze start, and anything could happen at any time though. I mean, all it takes is one big short position to come in and cover, and that would make the stock jump probably ridiculously. And then on top of that, it could just take like some big players coming in and leveraging their cash, loading up on options, or a multitude of things. A lot of retail volume coming in, but either way, yeah, it really could kick off at any time. Christina says her auto buy option just kicked in at $8 a share. Nah, I think you're good. You're good. I mean, that's always great, and you know what? That's really, really what's the word I'm looking for? It's easier sometimes. I don't have enough coffee to use my big words that I'm looking for right now. But it's really easy to just like, oh, okay, I got extra cash on hand. I'm just gonna go in and buy, and then run in and buy here at the 840 mark. Um, and get the best cost ever. But if you come into it and hey, I want to buy at $8, that's where I want to be at to average down, and you set that order limit and just patience and just sitting there and wait it out. And I mean, to me, that's really like in terms of like trading to psychology and a lot of the books I've read about like the whole psychology of swing trading, day trading, and anything. It's all about having that patience and that self control, and setting your goals. And like if I know I want to get into this trade at $8, and if it never comes down to 8, I'm okay with that. I already have my position set, and like things like that. I think you're going to be really successful. Let's see. What's up with Didi? I have no idea, but I will pull it up. Especially since you said holy cannoli. Damn, down 18%. I don't know anything about this stock at all, but oh. Oh, you know what? I think we pulled this up the other day, right? And see, this is kind of what I'm talking. I don't know anything about this stock, but this is what I was getting into earlier about this whole IPO thing. So, stock comes in, starts the day right here at 1660. I'm assuming this was their IPO, and you probably have a ton of institutional or people who have connections and were able to get in with whoever this company IPO'd through, and we're able to buy way down here, and get in a lot lower, at lower prices, at $6, $7, $8, $9 before it even, and bought it all the way up, so that when it finally hit the market, it came in at 1660, and you could tell from this wick that on that day it got bought up all the way to 18. And then guess what happens? All these people that were able to get in early, they start dumping their shares, and now it's retail holding all these bags right here. And that's what I think is wrong with the way that IPOs, because a lot of people come buying in on hype and don't really understand. And this is, I have no idea what this stock, anything about this stock, but that's just my assumption, because that's what we see time and time again with these IPOs. And then the mainstream media helps hype it up. So yeah, that would be my take. Is it's the bigger players dumping their bags on retail. Michael says, "What the hell? Where's THB's MIA?" He's probably listening. I know a lot of times, like I'm the same way. It's hard too. Like when you do the stream and you're doing videos, and I mean, he did that extra video with Pablo last night. So it's definitely sometimes you got to take a break from it too. So I know a lot of times, like every power hour, if I can, I always have some headphones in and I'm walking around the house. Like doing other stuff, and I'm always listening in, but I can't chime in on the chat. Um, or sometimes I end up getting tied up and I can't, but I'm sure he's out there somewhere. Um, D Worm says the Cleveland Indians are changing their name to the Guardians. Wow, I haven't heard that. Is that usually I would get an ESPN. Oh, I guess I did get that alert 14 minutes ago on my phone. Damn, that's crazy. Um, it's like always the Indians always remind me of Major League Two. Growing up, those were some of my favorite movies. Let's see here. I'm just trying to catch back up, guys. Um, oh, there's Tar Heel. There we go. Tar Heel is in the house. And you know what? That reminds me too. Just while I'm scanning through the chat, I want to throw this out. So the next round table, we've done two already. The first one was more of a square table. It was just me and Tar Heel. Second one was pretty interesting. Me, Tar Heel, Al Trades, and Target Short Sellers was on. And there's going to be a third one now on Sunday evening. I want to say 7 o'clock Eastern. And it's going to be on Tar Heel's channel. I could be a little bit wrong on the time, but it's Sunday evening, Tar Heel's channel. I know for sure. I think it's me, Tar Heel, Degenerate, and I don't want to be giving out bad information, but I think maybe, possibly Al Trades if he could make it, possibly Pablo if he could make it. I think, and possibly Dutch if he could make it. So that's, and I could be behind on information, and maybe some of these people have already been confirmed or said they're not coming in. So, but definitely check it out. It's going to be on Tar Heel's channel. Also, since we're on the subject, make sure you guys check out Power Hour for Tar Heel today. Stonk Tales, and we'll be having some cocktails. I don't know, Tar Heel, if you were listening earlier, but I'll be listening for sure today. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to crack one open. I got a big party tonight next door, and I'm going to be over there. And if I start drinking at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, it's not going to be nice. Let's see. Coach, as my Baptist minister would say, no one knows the date nor the time. Yeah, I agree. What's up, too, Clark? I don't know if I saw you in here yet today, but thank you for joining. Yeah, Dave, absolutely. And me and Dave talked about this on the phone recently too. But yeah, you got to have a plan when you're trading, an entry, an exit, and you got to stick to it. Otherwise, some of the biggest losses that I've had, and not necessarily like realized. I guess so. There's just been too many times where, and I'll give you a perfect example, like GameStop. When it was trading at 480 and I watched it drop down into like the lower 200s before I sold. And I learned a lot that day. You know, when Robinhood pulled the plug and the news came out and the stock started dropping, I should have just got out then. And even though we're not talking about a specific plan with that, but I had no exit plan with GameStop. I didn't. I just felt like it was going to keep rising and rising and rising. And, and so even though I came out ahead, I did lose a lot. And some of the other, like even in other trades that in the past that I had been in, my biggest losses have always been those ones where I didn't have a plan. And even though like stop losses are I would say highly discouraged in stocks like CLOV and GameStop and the short squeeze stocks because of volatility, you always should have a mental stop loss and always have a mental plan on what your best scenario is. Let's see. Still trying to catch up. Ryan, what's up? How's it going? As long as the 49ers stay the 49ers, absolutely. I'm getting excited about football season coming up too. So I have season tickets to the 49ers. So I'll be at pretty much every home game. And I usually like to travel somewhere every year. So I'll be looking to I don't know if we're gonna hit a game this year, but usually I'll go to a game, like travel to some sort of game every year, whether it's a college football game or somewhere. I always like to go on one trip. Um, I think I told the story about the Cleveland trip we took on Tar Heels channel. That was God, probably 10 years ago now. I think I told that story recently. If not, whatever, I could tell it another day. But yeah, I have a buddy who always plans these football trips, and they're pretty fun. We hit multiple games in the same weekend and kind of like travel all over whatever the region that we're in, and even caught some high school games and everything else. He works his coach is getting the CLOV assistant for Christmas. Santa knows what's up. Um, I gotta put this up there. Michael's cracking me up right now. Tar Heel Blue was busy speaking with attorneys, um, answering all the file petitions to get the Motel 6 carpet removed. Uh, Coach, you in the subpar sequels? Yeah, no, I know, and honestly, I don't. Caddyshack 2 wasn't nowhere near one of my favorites, but I didn't. I think I said that day I didn't show my kids Caddyshack 1 because I haven't seen it in so long, and for some reason that one's rated R, and Caddyshack 2 was rated PG. So I was like, or no, it might have been PG-13, but I was like, just kind of real quick, I grabbed the PG-13 one because I didn't want to. I'm driving in there in the back seat, and I don't really remember why it's rated R. If anyone does, maybe throw it in the chat if it's not. Because I'll gladly show it to them. I think that one's definitely better. There's not too many sequels that are good. I don't know if anyone wants to what sequels To me, I do like Back to the Future 2, though. I don't want to say it's better than Back to the Future 1, but I think that's a sequel that kind of holds its own weight. Um, let's see here. Think we'll get the AMA from Clove execs today. Someone said during the roundtable it might come out this week. Yeah, and the week's about to be over too. So I don't know. I mean, the mods from the subreddit were the ones that were in contact with them. I haven't heard anything. There is a mod chat on Discord, and then there's also another Discord chat where we kind of like put together these other roundtables and stuff. And I haven't seen any news on it yet, so I'm not sure. Um, RSI going towards 30. Someone said I might be late on that. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to catch up. Lisa says TRADYTICS will plot entry and exit points based on AI. You know what? All right, here's my guarantee right now. I'm gonna tell you this is for CT and for Lisa. So Lisa, I'm gonna watch those TRADYTICS videos today when this stream is over because I'm actually got caught up with my schoolwork this week, and so I'm done working on my dissertation until I get it back from my professor. So I'm gonna have a lot of free time today. I feel like. So I'm gonna watch some of those videos for TRADYTICS and really get into it because I definitely I'm keeping it. I think my 7 day trial expires near the end of this week, like Sunday or something. But I'm keeping it, so I might as well watch all the videos and learn as much information as I can with it. So I'm gonna make that a priority today to kind of get through that information. And then CT, if you're still listening, I'm going to try to find those that searchable block trade or searchable time and sales. I think I have it where I can export it into a CSV file. So if I can, I'll figure that out when we get off the stream too. Let's see. Okay, Skip. That's what I thought, Skip, in terms of the Caddyshack. And I don't know. We'll see. I could probably show him that one. Godfather 2 was definitely a good one. Scott and Dan said absolutely. Terminator 2 was another good one. I wasn't even thinking about that. Absolutely. Terminator 2 is another great sequel. Um, And Zed says the same thing. T2 was the best sequel. All right, let's see here. Just looking around, we do got about 15 minutes left in the stream. I'm gonna pull up Al Trade's tweet because I did see that someone said to check Al Trade's tweet real quick, and then I'll pull this up here. Let's see if I could find it. There we go. I think this is probably the one. Oh yeah, the FINRA short volume. Yeah, we looked at that earlier. So someone at the beginning of the stream had said that fintel started reporting on their the short volume, and yesterday we saw 50%. So that means that 50% of the volume yesterday was shorting. So that's starting to rise. I think I want to say I've seen days with like GameStop and AMC. Um, GameStop specifically, where it's been like running, because I don't follow AMC as much, but where it's been running above 50% for a while now. Let me see if I think that information is. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so this is on that Stonko tracker for GME. Um, and look at this short percentage. It's kind of like the same type of stuff, but this is dating all the way back to June 23rd. Every single day has had over 60% short percentage, and they started running this dark pool percentage numbers recently too. And I think AMC, from what I remember, I saw some tweets yesterday that AMC was like insane. Yeah, there we go. 71% of all the volume yesterday on AMC came through the dark pool. How crazy is that? I'd love to get a website. We need to get someone to build a website like this for CLOV, where it just puts all the data in one place. That would be awesome. That's beyond my. I mean, I know you can go look around and find it everywhere, but this is pretty cool. Whoever put this together, how many calls expire in the money at specific strike prices, how many shares are available to borrow, how many ETF shares are available to borrow, because there are kind of those ETFs like I've been talking about before, where they found out that some of these ETFs contain a ton of AMC in it, and so they've been shorting some of these ETFs that contain AMC and GameStop in them too. Um, let's see if we could see what there was one ETF specifically, and I know we were just talking about this the other day. It's not as high as I thought. Like this one has 8% of the ETF is GameStop shares. So yeah. Anyways, all right. Where was I at? Yeah, so that tweet by Al Trades, we were looking at that earlier. Short volume ratio is increasing, and so I mean, we already kind of knew though, right? The stock is getting manipulated. It's getting shorted to shit, and the best thing we could do is buy and hold. And at some point, they have to cover. Um, okay, yeah, Lisa, I'll check it out for sure. I'm gonna, I promise, I'm gonna, and for my own, you know, this is information that I want to know, especially if I'm going to start paying them for the subscription, which I am. And anyone who's interested in it, it is pretty damn cool. If you want to go down and check it out, I put a link to it because a couple people had hit me up and asked me about it. But I put a link to it in the description of the video. But it's called TRADYTICS. Really great information. They've got some AI scanners that kind of tell you, which I haven't really looked into yet, that tells you, different plays to get in and kind of like good entry points, alerts on option call sweeps, and I mean there's a ton of stuff in there, and I'm just kind of getting to like a little bit of it right now as I'm learning about it. Next time you check the option chain, will you see if ATOS has anything exciting coming? Yes, you know what? Let's see. So I'm gonna start this other comment too, but yeah, let me check. TRADYTICS real quick, just to see, because that one really gives since we're talking about TRADYTICS and we're talking about options, and let me see if I can pull this up. I'm gonna start that one too, and I'll come back to it because it looks like, I don't know if TRADYTICS doesn't have ATOS in it, or if my computer's just yeah, see, maybe we did try this the other day. I've seen this before. Yeah, I tried to look up BNGO and I got the same response. So I think some stocks, they don't have enough option data on, and they just don't report it in there. So we'll pull up the option chain on ATOS. But real quick, I want to get to what co-creator is exactly what the one that I just started, so I can come back to it, and then I'll jump back to you, Big C. But everyone always asks how Clover is similar to AMC and GameStop, but can you tell us how they are different? Um, to me, and I probably haven't talked about this in a while, but to me, the biggest difference is, and I did lay it out in one of my posts that I put on Reddit a while back. It's kind of like oh, I do see that other one, co-creator. I just saw the other one you're talking about, and I just started that one too. But anyways, to me, if you look at these squeeze plays, it's like you have AMC to me, and I don't want to catch any grief for it or whatever, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna say the way I feel. Like I'm not saying one's gonna go higher or lower, or one squeezes over or anything, but AMC to me right now is just absolutely a pure squeeze play. Like if you're buying AMC, if it squeezes, you're gonna make money. If it doesn't, you stand to lose a lot, because this stock probably, and I have no idea, but just market cap wise, is trading way higher than its best market cap ever. And there's really not a ton of change happening in the company to justify them trading at this high of a market cap. Now, that being said, you could probably buy AMC right now and make a ton of money on a squeeze. All right, I'm not saying that not to, but it's a very overvalued stock right now. Like from a fundamental standpoint, and so much more high risk of being a bag holder, in my opinion, if it doesn't pan out. GameStop, is kind of more of like a pivot play. You have this company that a lot of people still see as this brick and mortar company that trades in, takes in games, and resells them, and that basically their niche, or what they're going to be doing, is selling games to people. And I get the biggest knock on it is that everything's done online now. Everything, you can go buy a game straight through your PS4 or your PS5. You don't need to go to the store anymore and all that. And I get that. And brick and mortars are kind of out of the way. I get that. But GameStop, on the other hand, is more of a pivot play. The company brought in a lot of top executives. They're rebranding, they're rechanging the way that they're doing it, and they're trying to, cut out a piece of the gaming industry. That may take years. So again, I think GameStop is overvalued for where it's at right now, but has long-term growth potential. And my opinion, years from now, could be trading at $500, $600. Once the company actually does pivot and gets to their point. So it's more of a speculative play on fundamentals. So I still don't think, if you got into GameStop right now, kind of, I would say, mid risk of being a bag holder, because if the squeeze didn't happen, you could still hold this stock for a long time and still be profitable, but you might have to hold it for years. Then you come on to CLOV, and I think it's a totally different situation. You're looking at a stock that's, trading at $8, undervalued right now. Potentially, I think right now should be trading between 20 and $30 based on fundamentals. But has the potential to be a triple digit stock down the road, because there's so much growth in this company, just in healthcare. But then on top of that, has this AI technology side. And so this isn't necessarily a pivot play, it's a growth play. Well, I would say more of a hyper growth play. So without the squeeze, potential to see triple digits, like GameStop. But the difference is, this is an undervalued play right now. So if the squeeze doesn't happen, I can almost guarantee, I don't want to say guarantee because I'm obviously not a financial advisor, but my opinion is if no squeeze was to happen on Clove, you're not holding bags. This stock is worth 3 times what it's trading at right now, at least. And that's not speculation on where we're going to be at years from now. Like I'm saying with GameStop, but this is just based on the company as it stands right now is worth to me 3 times what it's trading at the very least. So to me, that's the biggest differences between the three of them. I mean, we can get into like data points and talk about, the differences in float size. Obviously, AMC has the largest float of the three. GameStop the smallest float, but and float size makes a big difference when you're looking to get into a squeeze play, right? I mean, smaller float's going to squeeze higher. And Clove does have a smaller float than AMC, but still not as small as GameStop. But I think from an entry standpoint, if you just wanted to get into a squeeze play, Clove would be my pick. And if you wanted to get into a long-term investment, no squeeze at all, Clove would be my pick. Because even right now, with where GameStop's at, at $175, it's not worth that much yet, right? That's all based on speculative future growth. So, I you maybe from a fundamental standpoint, if you're willing to hold GameStop for years, you might be able to triple up. I think with Clove right now, it'd be pretty safe to say if you wanted to hold this stock for a couple years, you're going to go like times 10, times 20 again with no squeeze. So that's my take at least. Sorry if I was a little long winded there. So let me get back. I'm going to go to Big C's comment real quick again, and we'll pull up the option chain on ATOS, and then I will get back to what you had asked for, co-creator, just kind of review of, all the different data we have on Clove before I sign off. So ATOS option chain, and this is just going to be kind of like quick at a glance. The one thing that happened with ATOS that kind of kills momentum, and I was talking to Tar Heel about this on the phone a couple days ago, and it happened. The same thing happened with Clove on the big run up. Is as soon as you get this big run up that blows out the option chain, not only do they extend the chain, but they added in weeklies, and so weeklies make it hard for because now you're not keeping that consolidation all on the monthly. So just looking through these weeklies. At a glance, I don't see like a lot of open interest loaded up. I'd imagine August 20th would be the next big date, and there we're starting to see like um, 13,000. So kind of that double digits in the thousands, which is what I like to see. And it looks like at the $4 strike, you do have 10,000 outweighing puts. And then at the $5 strike, again, 9,000 outweighing puts. So I would say August 20th maybe seems like it could be building up for a gamma squeeze type date, but not yet. I don't see it yet. Trust me, I'm watching this stock though, so when I do see it, I'm gonna jump on board again if I see it get loaded up like it was, because that was absolutely insane. Hope that answers your question, Big C. All right, so let me check the comments real quick, make sure I didn't get too far behind. Michael says, just feel like with AMC, the society is now spoiled with home streaming movies due to COVID. There's no way. Yeah, I mean, even without that, but that's a great point. Just when you talk about like fundamental, I mean, people are always going to want to go to the movies, right? And they can do stuff to make like the experience a little bit better and maybe charge a little bit more to bring in more revenue. Like there's a movie theater over by us that I went to once. I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with some friends, and we went to this kind of like, I forget the name of the movie, or the theater, but it was cool. Like you're sitting in a recliner seat, they serve you drinks at your at your seat. You can order dinner. I mean, it was just a totally different experience. And if you start getting into like that side of things, but then you're probably going to turn away your average moviegoers too, who don't want to pay a ton of money to go see it like that. But I just think like, and really it has nothing to do with share price, right? So just to put this into perspective, like there's 5 times as many shares now as there was years ago in AMC. So when you look at the daily chart, and again, I have hella friends who are in AMC, but they know and they're in for the squeeze. And I think that's my point. And they have a much lower cost basis than I do. But, when you start looking back, let me see if I can get us on a weekly view. And just to put this into perspective, here we go. Like I think 2019 might have been one of the more successful years for AMC. I could be wrong. Let's even go to 2018. I mean, they were trading at $13 a share, but the difference is now in terms of market cap, you would have to take that $13, right, and divide it by 5 because of the share dilution. So 13 divided by 5, and this is just my quick math, would really put that share price at somewhere around $2.6 in today's market cap for AMC. So that would mean like, at their peak, maybe somewhere even up here at 20, $4 a share would be today's market cap value of where AMC was trading, 3 years ago. So, I hope that makes sense what I'm getting at. But, if they went down to fundamentals right now, they probably should be trading somewhere around $4 or $5. And I know it's easy to look at like the share price and say, well, they were trading at $20 at their best time. Yeah, but they also had 5 times less shares, right? And so that's really how that works. So, if you break it down, that they should probably be trading at roughly around $4 or $5 right now, based on fundamentals. Now, if you wanted to talk speculative growth, sure, an argument can be made, but it can't be made to be trading as high as it is right now. Like, for the movie theater business is what it is, right? Like, people buy tickets. A majority of the money of that goes to, goes back to the theaters. And I know AMC does put out some of its own movies, and they have that going for them. But really, to me, the real growth in the movie theater business is buying more theaters. And, they have been doing that, but in order for them to double profit, now I'm just looking at this from a very, very wide lens, right? Like, so they maybe have to double the amount of theaters they have. And they were running, underwater for the longest time. So it's not like they were thriving beforehand. They were already heading into bankruptcy. So I mean, and again, I'm saying all this stuff because I'm just trying to keep it real, but I do think, shit, the other day I just bought AMC calls because I like to play momentum. And when AMC's running, I want to be a part of it. And I've actually made quite a bit of money on AMC over, since January. I was in on the first run up on AMC up to 20 before Robinhood shut everything off. And I've jumped back in on AMC a couple times here and there between there. So, all right. I just got way behind. And then Big C, just so you know, I just want to clarify because I saw you said that cool same day as CLOV. Yeah, the CLOV option chain looks way better right now in comparison. So I'm not saying ATOS is going to blow on August 20th. That's just the best looking date. But the ATOS August option chain right now, I don't see it in there. It's starting to build up, but it's not there yet. I just want to clarify that. Like it's, we saw some ridiculous numbers for that last kind of gamma squeeze play. There was like 60,000 open interest at those strikes, and right now we're looking at 12,000. So, but it still has time, and those things can happen overnight too. You get some big whales come in, do some call sweeps, and you could get there. So I'll be keeping an eye on it though. All right, let's so before I end, I want to try to get, look, like clockwork, we just hit 8 o'clock. It was my time to sign off, and close heading green. So seems like that's just my luck. I can't be on here for the positive stuff lately. And Michael just called it out too. All right, so before I sign off though, first off, just kind of looking around. So it does kind of seem to be a down day in general. At least for the stocks we're kind of watching. The S&P 500 is up $3 right now, but seems like kind of the Reddit favorites and the meme favorites and all that. BNGO, I don't really consider BNGO to be a meme stock at all. I know it's highly shorted, but down 4% on the day, fell back below 6, trading at 590. AVXL currently down $1, trading at 2103, down almost 6% on the day. Just looking at some of the other ones I don't have up here before we get into the ones I am looking at over here on this other screen. ATOS down 5%. That's 20 cents, trading at 390. Space down 5%, trading at 29.35. And BlackBerry, I just added back to the watch list just because the memes are starting to, become popular. I feel like again, or getting a little momentum. It felt like early in the week, but BlackBerry's down 3%, trading at 10.10. All right. So just looking at what we got going on here. GameStop, not too terrible. I think Max Payne was 180, so it's trade. The market makers are winning right now on all of these, kind of pinning everything down where they want them. We're trading at 175. AMC, I believe we looked earlier, and Max Payne was 40. I think. Let me check. Might as well look before we sign off because I know some of you guys are following AMC. I'm following AMC a little bit now too because I do have those calls expiring next week. But yeah, max paying for AMC is 39, so trading at 35. DraftKings also not too much down 5 cents on the day. Almost, we can consider that almost flat. Just looking around now so we went over the max paying. Kind of took a look at that. Let me see. iBorrow desk. We'll see where we're at. So last time I updated it was 3.7 million shares available, which was actually a net difference of like 1 million shares returned. And that's kind of where we're at. So we started the day with iBorrow desk, 2.7 million shares. Now we're at 3.9. So a million shares have been returned according to iBorrow desk, and they cover Interactive Brokers. Coming over to the Ortex data right now, it looks like, so we started the day with 36 million shares on loan, and where are we at? Estimated short interest of 21%. Keep in mind, too, this doesn't include any of the dark pool data or naked shorting or any of that stuff, so a little bit different. But as we see, so we are now down to a net difference of 1.6 million borrowed. So, if you factor those together, according to the data that we have available to us, 1 million returned on iBorrow desk, 1.68 borrowed here, so about 500,000 difference, according to the data that's being given to us. Cost to borrow is a lot lower now than it was weeks ago, sitting at 2%. So yeah, we'll just kind of keep our eyes on this stuff and see where it goes from there. Fintel data, I don't think updates until later on in the day in terms of that short volume, but I'm going to start looking at that now that it's available to me. Let's see here. All right, I got a couple comments. Yeah, there we go. Right when I'm signing off, CLOV starts rising. Evan says, if the market crashes, I really don't think meme stocks will be affected too hard. Yeah, I don't either. I think we kind of have like an inverse effect, right? So I talked about that the other day too, because basically, if you think about it, right, like a lot of these people that are short this stock are also long a bunch of other stocks. So if the market was to crash, they have to meet margin requirements. A lot of these hedge funds and big institutions, they trade on like way higher leverage than we do. So, if you're trading on margin, maybe you're getting 4-to-1 margin from your broker. A hedge fund or an institution sometimes might get 10 times margin, 25 times margin. So, if the market even drops 10%, that's going to put them into a margin call quick. And then if they do get a margin call, it doesn't necessarily mean they're getting liquidated, but it means they need to come up with money and at the same time start scaling out of their position. So, like, let's say a hedge fund is short CLOV but long Disney. If the market starts crashing and Disney goes down, by 10%, in a market crash 15%, not only are they losing in that position and they need to unwind it, they also need to unwind their short positions. So I think we'll kind of see like an inverse happen. With a lot of the heavily shorted stocks will start to rise in a market crash scenario. That's just my speculation, because a market crash, especially when you look at like a stock like Clover or GameStop or any of these, it doesn't bother me if the market's crashing. I'm not trading on margin, so I'm not going to get margin called, and I'm going to continue to hold, right? So we won't see like a stock like Clove start to fall in that same fashion, unless some of the institutional investors in Clove end up unwinding their positions, if that was the case. Anyways, okay, so Malik says, I get these time slots when it's going down because I help everyone stay strong. Right on. I appreciate that. Michael, peace out. Narwhal Music says, buy all I can, hold cost average equals irrelevant. Lisa says, tell Tar Heel he needs to put a link in Discord. Some don't know how to do it. You mean a link to the, talking about a link to the, sorry, I can't think right now either. The thing on Sunday night, maybe. I'll give him a call right now. We'll figure it out. Whatever link he's trying to put in there. Ego, thanks for joining again. I appreciate it. Everybody have a great day. Chef Daddy, D Worm, everybody, have a great day. Co-creator, thank you again. SRT, if you're still out there, thank you. And Pablo, specifically, if you're listening, thank you, man. We all appreciated that knowledge you dropped on us yesterday on Tar Heel Show. And all of you guys, if you're signing off and you didn't check that video out yet, definitely go check it out. It's on Tar Heel Blues channel. And yeah, I mean that was some great knowledge. If you want to know how the warrants can affect the share price, but also if you're a warrant holder and you want to know how it's going to affect you specifically, definitely go check that video out. All right, guys, I'll see you guys later. Dan, thank you again for joining. CT, everybody, I'll see you guys. Not tomorrow. Wow. Monday morning. All right. Or actually Sunday night if you can come join. All right. Don't forget about that either. All right. I'll see you guys later.